Okay. All right. So let me pull it up real quick. Oh, I have to share my screen. But I know all of you are obviously my tribe, and we're kind of asking for a little bit more guidance on just like more step by step. And I know that it's like so much information getting started. So I just kind of put this together quickly today just because it's been on my mind the past couple of days. I've just been like writing random sticky notes all over, and just questions that you guys were coming up with. So I kind of just put everything into a quick checklist that you guys can print off. And Abby is on here right now. She's actually going to make this look pretty. I know you teachers are just so good at that. That's not necessarily my strong suit, but the content is here. So if you want to make it prettier, go right ahead. Abby's going to do that for us in the next couple weeks. But going through this, obviously, number one is just falling in love with your journey. And I know that I say this, you're going to hear me say it probably every single day of your coaching journey until the end of time. But guys, that's really like the one thing that is going to make you successful in this business is falling in love with your journey. Like growing every single day, mental and physical, and showing up for yourself. So when all else fails, when you're going crazy, when a million and one other things are going on, refocus on yourself and what you can do to move yourself forward and just be all in. So that is always number one. So the next thing I put on there is just what I put in the new coach welcome email. So that's the new coach workbook, to print that off and start the new coach training. So I asked Abby to put little check boxes here for you guys so you can go through and like check it. But if you just want to print this off, this is just like the rough draft of it. So you can go through and like highlight or like what you've done so far. But going through the training, making sure you write out your story and send it to me. I know both of you have already done that, so you guys are on that. And then like in the training, there's the success starter tracker, so printing that off. Adding yourself to the team pages, which I'm sure you guys have already done, but there's a couple other pages that I mentioned in the Team Excelsior starter guide, like the Beachbody Champions page, Team Beachbody 411. You want to make sure you're in those just because there is the national wake up calls in there, and the Beachbody Champions page has like so much content in the unit section, and that is something you definitely should be checking out. Just because if you have any questions, like likely the answer is already there. Just kind of have to like search for it. But those are like great pages to get you started with. So Team Excelsior, Team Elevate, Beachbody Champions, and Team Beachbody 411 are like the really main pages to make sure you're in on Facebook. And you don't have to check them all the time. You don't have to check them a million times a day. Just like once a day, set out, 15 minutes for yourself to go in and kind of check things out. Just keep yourself updated. Next thing is posting your coming out post. And Erin, have you done yours yet? I know you sent me what you wrote, so I'm just like, I'm excited for you to post that. So that is why I put that on there, because it is a vital part, and you want to make sure before you start like inviting and like talking to people, like they want to see something on your page, because as soon as you send an invite to somebody, they're going to immediately come check out your page. So want to make sure your coming out post is done. And this is something I want to help you guys with. I want to kind of go back and forth and kind of help you like, I don't want to write it for you. I want you to write your story, and then I want to kind of give you feedback. This is like a time for me to be honest and like help you develop that. So don't be afraid to like reach out. This is a part of the journey I want to help you with. The next thing is just checking out the files in Team Excelsior. I know Katie said this today, but she was like, the files section is seriously a lifesaver. And I tried to make it really simple, guys. And if you haven't been in there, I literally break it down step by step by step. So it's so simple. I am the type, I mean, you guys are my tribe, and that's why I'm going through it like this, because if I go into something and don't have like a step-by-step guideline, I'm a very like learn by the books person. I'm a very, I'm not that like at heart really like go out and figure it out myself. Like I kind of like guidance. I like rules. And that's not necessarily the best for entrepreneurs. So like I want to try and help us kind of get out of our comfort zone, but also still have structure and make it really simple for you guys. So go into the Files tab in Team Excelsior, click Files, File Folders, Scripts. Step 1, start the convo, and this is the part where I know I've sent this to you guys like all pretty much like separately, but you want to go in there, recreate this form. This is just my form that I use for, it's my goals form. So the one that's in my bio on my Instagram, that's what I have people fill out before I even really talk to them about pretty much anything. Like, well, of course I have conversations with them, I get to know them, but then as soon as like a boot camp is brought up, I send them this form and I'm like, girl, if you don't mind taking a couple minutes, please fill this out. And I have them fill them out, and then we go into the emails, just because I need to be effective and efficient, and it really helps me get to know them really quick, and it allows them to, it allows me to help them in the best way that I can by knowing their goals, knowing the things that they're struggling with. So just recreate this. Honestly, guys, it takes I think it took me like maybe 5 minutes tops to create this form. And I just created a new one. I have it pulled up here. For my nutrition plan. So for the portion fix, I created a new one, put it in my link tree. So that's the next thing, is creating that form, and then also copying the emails that I have in there. They're the exact emails I use for my girls. They're the exact emails I use to help you guys get set up. Copy them, change them up to make them sound like you, put in your pictures, and then just make sure you're checking back there. Obviously you guys should be like doing this part on your own, but like checking the new prices of packages and everything, because I do update them monthly, because like I said, they're the emails I use. But make sure you're checking in on these things, but you can always come back to those for like new pricing and everything like that. So just creating a document. Another thing is in email, I guess I can show you guys real fast. This probably looks a little overwhelming because I always have 5 million tabs pulled up. If you guys have questions, let me know. Look at that. So happy Google Forms exists, how easy it is. Yeah, yep, it makes, yes, it is. It instantly, that's one of the biggest reasons I wanted to use the form, is because it instantly, you are more professional, because you're not just trying to have that conversation all over Instagram message. Like, you are a business, you need to be efficient and effective, and so if they're really interested, they're going to fill out the form. If they're not, then it's kind of like a waste of your time. So you need to kind of like move on to the next person. I don't mean that in a mean way. I mean that in a like professional way. So for example, I wanted to show you guys this real quick. So this is just an email that I got today. This is the email I'm talking about that you guys need to just like copy and make your own document with. So I wanted to show you this cool thing in case you guys didn't know. Also, another form I have, I mean, you guys all filled this out, so you already know, but I have like an order form for them to fill out once I send them this email, because first of all, it saves a hell of a lot of time for me. I don't have to go back and forth, and then I can just put their share cart together, and it's so simple. But I wanted to show you guys this real quick. My computer is being so slow. So slow. Please, Lord, just let this work so I can show you. But have you guys ever heard of snippets? I don't know if it's going to load. Maybe. But I use these all the time, and they save me so much time. So having snippets, so I'm going to click on this. I'll show you. It's basically just my emails that I use already uploaded into little snippets. So like I just name it, and then for example, if I click this, it's already my email loaded in there. So I don't have to like copy and paste. I just click snippets, click which one it is, and I already have it written. So it just saves me a ton of time. Just delete this. So if you don't have that yet, that's something to just kind of keep on your radar, and it'll save you a lot of time. So next thing. So that's files section, that's using the documents, and then just putting your forms. Oh, my computer has a mind of its own tonight. Putting your form into your Instagram bio. I use Linktree. Super simple website. You just log into it using your Instagram and put your link in there. The next thing is the tracker, guys. I've talked about this a million times, but I am like religious with this thing. Print it out. I have mine in the plastic covering stuff just so I don't have to print a million of them. But then I just check everything off every single day, guys. There's a ton of like they did a whole study on, you know, like coaches that use this and coaches that don't. And when you do all of the things, you're going to be like 300 times more successful than a coach that does not check the things off the box. And it's so simple. It's literally just the vital behaviors. So being proof of the product, so showing up for ourselves first, inviting, following up, connecting, being on our stories, posting on our feed, and then being a part of our communities, our challenge groups and our coaching group, recognizing people, and then doing our personal development. So simple. You write your why up here. Just make sure you have this because it's going to make your life so simple, and start tracking today. That is like the biggest piece of advice I can give you from a coach that's been in this for over 3 years now. I wish I would have started tracking when I first started. So it just keeps you focused. It keeps you intentional with your time, and it keeps you from getting overwhelmed. It makes you focus on the things that are business building activities. So make sure you have that printed out. I cannot stress it enough. Next thing is just setting up your direct deposit, because obviously you're going to start changing lives. You're going to start helping people, and you want to make sure you have that set up. You will get a check in the mail, so if you don't have it set up, it's not that big of a deal. But as you grow your business, you're going to want that money to just go in there automatically every Thursday because it's exciting. So it's super easy. Log into your online office, click monitor your business, and then it's called My EFT Management. You just have to put your banking information in. And it's hella simple, but that's just something that's just a question that I've gotten from you guys, and I know you're starting to help people get started, so I wanted to make sure you had that set up. Next thing is just, and if you guys have any questions along the way, please just post them in the chat or just stop me. Is just choosing a date for your boot camp to start, and I know I kind of help you guys with this. Because I want you to kind of do it strategically. So for me, I went over this last time, but I don't think I recorded it, so I'll just go over it again pretty quickly. Usually the last week of every month, I open enrollment. I keep it open for 2 weeks, so that gives me 2 weeks of heavy invites. So the last week of the month and then the first week of the next month, I keep enrollment open, and then I close it so that I'm starting everybody on the second week of the month. And then the next week after that, I usually run a coach sneak peek. So, losing my breath. In April, the new 21-day fix is coming out on the 1st, and the new 21-day fix extreme is coming out on the 29th. So those are just things that I want to keep in mind as I'm kind of coming up with my marketing plan for the month. And I say this as far as choosing your day for your boot camp, or when you're going to enroll, because it keeps you so focused, and then you can really be intentional with not only your invites but with your posts. So I know that the week before, as I'm opening enrollment for my boot camp, I'm posting a lot more about fitness. I'm posting a lot more about nutrition. I'm still posting about coaching every day. One sec. I'm still posting about coaching every day, but I'm being a little bit more intentional about sharing my boot campers' progress and sharing their success, and just putting that out there every day. And then this week, I'm about to start talking about my coach sneak peek that I'm running next month. So I'm going to be talking a lot about coaching, the community, what it's done for me mentally and physically, and how it's held me more accountable, and the money aspect of it. It just keeps you focused when you actually have a plan. I, for so long, tried to run my business just, doing whatever I felt like that day. And when you're intentional, you're just much more successful and you don't feel overwhelmed. So I apologize. I'm hella stuffed up and these allergies are killing me. But if you guys have any questions on picking a boot camp day or getting started with that, just please reach out. Don't feel like you have to know all of this stuff at once. Like, this is why I'm here. Next thing, so this is just like getting a little bit more advanced, but it is stuff that comes up very fast as you're getting into your coaching journey. Is the next step is, because your two main goals when you get started as a coach are to help 3 people get started like you did, and then hit Emerald. Those are like the 2 things that I mentioned in the email. They're in the starter guide. So I wanted to put in here the Emerald, like the Emerald call, and break it down a little bit. I did put the link to a previously recorded Emerald call. We have them like every other Wednesday usually, so it's best if you hop on live, but if you aren't able to make it, I did put a recording here for you guys to watch. And then I just wanted to break down like how to get your controlled business center set up. So if you have not watched an Emerald call yet, just make sure you go and watch this, and then this part will all make more sense. But basically, you're just getting either your spouse or your mom or your dad or your sibling set up as a business account for the future, essentially. Because in the future, I can promise you guys, it's literally going to like double your income if you have that controlled business center there. And me or Ashley on the Emerald call goes more into depth about why you want to do this. But you're basically going to put them on your week leg, and I won't go too much in depth, but I just wanted to put in here like how to place a coach. So when you do sign a coach, you can ask me about this, guys. I love this part of the business. I love the strategic part of it. I love how it's all building, and where you want to place certain people. So I just want to put in here quickly how to do that. So it's monitor my business, preferred placement, and then you're going to choose either your left or your right leg. Like I said, I'm going to help you with this part, but just I wanted to have it in here in case you guys, are signing a coach and are like, I don't know where to put them, or I don't know how to switch this. This is how you do that. And that's one question I've gotten a lot this week, so I wanted to make sure that was in here. And then number 10, I just said, last but not least, whenever you start to feel overwhelmed or lost, refer back to number 1. Focus on you, and everything else will fall into place one step at a time. Let's freaking rock this thing. So was this helpful? Was there anything I forgot? Is there any other questions? I'm going to stop sharing. Let me see.
I have a question for you.
Yep.
So you know how you had like in your email that for the Transform 20 with all the packages on it? Mm-hmm. How did you get that picture of all the packages?
I think we made those a while ago. You can make them. So
okay.
A couple ways to do this. Abby actually just did that. So Abby, do you want to speak on this? Because I usually just I was talking to Abby about this earlier. I am not like a super media creative person when it comes to all of that stuff. So I usually just use what I can find. If you go to the Beachbody Champions page, if you go to Team Beachbody 411, if you go to Team Elevate and like search, you can usually find like packages like that other coaches have already made. And that's honestly like what I use, because like I said, honestly, it's very time consuming to create your own. If you have that time and if you want to create all of that stuff your own, yeah. See, and that's what I said to Abby. I'm like, I don't think my tribe, like, if I'm not interested in it, I don't think they're going to be interested in it. So I honestly just like reuse. I don't want to reinvent the wheel. So I use Ashley's if she creates some, or I know she got some from Kate this time. Whatever I can find, I use. But Abby created her own. So Abby, if you want to speak on that just real quick.
Are you talking about like program info and different packages?
Yeah.
So I literally just use Canva, and this is the first time I've made them completely from scratch. Like usually I'll use someone else's template, but it was time consuming only because it was the first time I've done it, and I was like nitpicky. But as far as like putting the information in, I'm literally like, I'm shortening it a little bit, obviously, to like make it fit, but copy and pasting the packages directly from like ShareCart, like exactly as they are, word for word, what they include, like that way nothing's going to differ when a challenger is looking at that, and then when their cart is, they're sending or filling out the ShareCart.
Yep. So you can like screenshot basically the packages on ShareCart and like crop them, whatever, put them into Canva. That's what I've done before.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that. That's probably a much more time efficient way to do it. I was like typing them out. But you could do that too. I don't know. I like to I didn't put them word for word, but like I had everything that it included, but I like put my own little twist on it instead of like a year-long access to Beachbody on demand. Instead of that, I'm like year-long access to tons of workout programs on demand, like Netflix or whatever it is, like, I don't know. But yeah, Canva is like the best tool because it's like, I don't know, it's like Photoshop for dummies. It's like,
I've never even heard of it.
It's literally just a website. Like you go onto the website, you don't have to download anything. And then if you want to like get fancy and you want cool backgrounds, you can buy them for like $3 on Etsy. I just bought like paint smudge backgrounds that just make them pop a little more. And it was like an instant download off of Etsy for like $3. I got 20 backgrounds. So
yeah, Canva is like what I use for like our leaderboards and stuff.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking that earlier, like, how does she make these things?
Yeah, so they're actually also, that's another thing that's in like the files tab is I made those and I made a copy of them. So like the new coach, like welcome picture thing, what else? Just like rank advancement things. I've already made all of those. And obviously like once you like really start building your own team, you can put in your own team name, but I made a copy of them and they're in the team files. Like when you sign a coach, here's what to do. Use this Canva thing, make a copy of it, put in their picture. Like, so they're already made for you guys because like I said, that was like a stressful part for me because I don't enjoy really doing that stuff. So I wanted to make sure it was like as simple as possible for you guys. Checklists are helpful for your learning style. Same here. That's why I wanted to do that. Yeah, for sure. Because I like to be able to cross stuff off. But is there any other questions that you guys have? We're on here. We have the time. I haven't gotten a text from Jordy yet to come get him. So.
Is there an Emerald call this week? Or was it last week?
Yeah. It was last week, and that's the recording that I posted in the checklist.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll probably have another one next week. Probably next week, yeah. I might do our own next week. Sometimes I do them. Sometimes I just go with Ashley's. Really what I'm feeling. Just like I said, because I don't really like to reinvent the wheel.
I have a question.
Yeah.
You said that it's good to start, or you start your boot camps like at the end/beginning of each month. I haven't started one because I was trying to take my time to go through all the coaching things and stuff like that.
Yep.
But I'm wanting to start one soon. So would you advise like do not necessarily like a test one, but like the first one not being at the first of the month / the end of the month, and then going on from there, starting them?
So honestly, what I would do for you right now is take full advantage of this portion fix that's coming out. Or if you want people to get started with Transform 20, you absolutely can. But because the new 21-day fix is coming out on the 1st, you could be inviting to that. So there is 3 weeks left in the month. If you want to like solely take the next 3 weeks and just keep crushing your journey and start inviting to that, you could start your boot camp like on the 1st of April. So that gives you, and people like to also start things like the beginning of months. Kind of like a silly reasoning, but like it's true. So, and then the portion fix releases for customers to buy on the 18th. So if they sign up as a discount coach, they can get the portion fix. But if they sign up as a regular customer, they have to wait until the 18th. So it's kind of up to you what you want to do, whether you want to run a 21-day fix group or whether you want to run a Transform 20 group.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Any other questions? I tried to hit everything that I have been getting from you guys. But I think that's about it. And just like making, another thing I wanted to say is I know that there's like, it seems like a lot of calls during the week. So just making sure in your calendar, Team Excelsior calls are probably going to stay Sunday nights for a while. I might switch them up eventually. I've switched them a couple of times before just to try and like make sure it's still fitting the majority of the people's schedule. Excuse me, but for right now, they're every Sunday night at 8 p.m., making sure that's in your calendar, non-negotiable every week. I do like having this new coach call weekly just because I want to make sure that you guys don't have any questions. It's a good like check-in time for us. We can go over our trackers, like anything we struggled with for the week. And then Team Elevate is always Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. So those are really like the two most important calls. And then obviously the National Wake Up Call, which is every Monday. So, and depending on where you're at, I think it's 11 a.m. Eastern time. So just making sure that those are in your schedule. But don't get overwhelmed yourself. Take it one step at a time. Like I said, use this checklist to kind of just go one thing at a time. Get your training done. Get yourself set up for success. And you guys should be ready to rock and roll. You guys are like already kicking butt. It's awesome. So pumped. And you guys are a big reason why we are number 474 in the entire freaking network. It's so incredible. And I'm so excited to continue growing this year. So thank you guys for jumping on. If you don't have any last questions, we can take a quick picture. And then I'm going to hop off because I'm probably going to have to go get Jordy real quick. So, Sasha, smile. Abby disappeared, but that's okay. All right, thank you guys for hopping on. If you think of any questions later on, just post them in our group chat, and I will be happy to help you. All right, bye, guys.